I'm meteorologist Matt McDonald. Welcome to the BC Climate Summary for the month of October 2012. Let's start by looking at a map that shows the amount of precipitation received in October compared to normal. The green areas over the central interior and the south coast show that these regions receive close to or slightly above normal precipitation amounts in October. More interesting are the Peace District and the southern Okanagan that received over twice the normal amount of precipitation for October. This graph shows the 30-day rainfall at Vancouver. The black line is the normal accumulating rainfall, and the green line is the actual amount of precipitation that fell. We can see that by the end of the month, the normal was surpassed by 85 millimeters. In the bottom half of the chart, the green columns indicate the daily amount of rainfall. We can see that the first 12 days of October were completely dried, followed by a relatively steady rain. The month ended with a strong storm that delivered 61 millimeters in 3 days. Here's the same chart for Prince George. We can see that precipitation amounts were below normal for most of the month, but we ended with a near normal rainfall. Despite a few good storms, there were 2 dry spells that kept total amounts near normal. One from October 2nd to the 12th, and another from the 17th to the 24th. Now let's look at Fort St. John. The chart shows quite a different scenario. After a similarly dry start, the area received heavy rainfall in the middle of the month. The month ended with record rainfall amounts. A big storm hit on October 19th, delivering 37 millimeters. After that storm, there were consistent amounts for the remainder of the month, which further increased the month's total. Let's take a look at temperatures for the month. This chart shows the daily temperature departures at Victoria. The red columns show warmer than normal days, and the blue ones colder than normal days. The green line shows the mean departure for the month, so we can see that Victoria and most of the south coast were near or slightly above normal. The temperatures at Fort St. John were quite different. The mean departure was close to 5 degrees below normal. These cold conditions were due to the presence of Arctic air over the northern half of the province for the last third of the month. And finally, here's a table that compares the amount of precipitation recorded this October with record amounts. We can see that October 2012 was relatively wet over the south coast, with most stations ranking in the top 10 wettest Octobers. Most interesting was Fort St. John, which recorded 147 millimeters, breaking the old record set back in 1957 by more than 20 millimeters. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, feel free to send an email to matt.mcdonald@ec.gc.ca. Thanks, and tune in next month.